Most people think they're bad at speaking. They're not. The real problem is that the moment they start talking, their brain starts working against them. Their heart races. Their thoughts scatter. They overthink every sentence. And suddenly they can't find words they use perfectly when they're alone. Sound familiar? Today you'll learn why this happens, why confidence isn't something you're born with, and how to become more articulate and clear in every conversation, from meetings and interviews to everyday life. Because speaking confidently isn't a talent, it's a skill, and skills can be trained. Have you ever left a conversation and thought, why didn't I say that? Or maybe you've watched someone explain an idea clearly and confidently and wondered, how do they do that? Meanwhile, when it's your turn to speak, your mind goes blank. You ramble. You lose your point. You say, 10 times. You finish the conversation feeling frustrated, not because you didn't know what to say, but because you couldn't express what was already in your head. This is one of the most common hidden struggles people face, and it affects everything. Career opportunities, relationships, leadership, confidence, because people often judge your ideas based on how clearly you communicate them. The tragedy is that many intelligent people remain invisible simply because they never learn how to express themselves effectively. But the reason isn't what most people think. The psychology of clear communication. Most people assume confident speakers think faster. Actually, many of them think slower. Here's what happens. When you're nervous, your brain enters a defensive state. Instead of focusing on your message, you focus on yourself. You start wondering, do I sound stupid? What if I mess up? What are they thinking about me? Now your attention is divided. Part of your brain is trying to communicate. The other part is monitoring threats. And the result is confusion. The more self-conscious you become, the less articulate you sound. Ironically, confident speakers aren't usually less afraid. They're simply less focused on themselves. And that leads to the first lesson. Lesson 1. Stop trying to sound smart. This may sound strange, but one of the biggest reasons people struggle to communicate is because they're trying too hard to sound intelligent. They search for perfect words, perfect sentences, perfect explanations. And while they're searching, the conversation keeps moving. Great communicators don't focus on sounding smart. They focus on being understood. Think about the best teachers you've ever had. Were they impressive because they used complicated language, or because they made difficult ideas simple? The most articulate people simplify. They don't complicate. What should the viewer do today? For the next 24 hours, replace complexity with clarity. Instead of trying to impress people, try to help them understand. Your communication will instantly improve. Lesson 2. Slow down to sound more confident. Here's something surprising. People who speak too quickly often sound less confident. Why? Because speed signals anxiety. When we're nervous, we rush. We try to get through the conversation as quickly as possible. Confident people do the opposite. They pause. They breathe. They think. And because of that, every word carries more weight. A pause isn't weakness. A pause is control. Many people fear silence. Strong communicators use it strategically, and the next lesson explains why silence can actually make you appear smarter. Lesson 3. Pauses create authority. Imagine two people. One speaks non-stop. The other speaks, pauses, and then continues. Who sounds more confident? Usually the second person, because pauses signal that you're comfortable taking up space. You're not rushing for approval. You're not panicking. You're thinking. This changes how people perceive you, and it changes how you perceive yourself. The pause gives your brain time to organize thoughts. The audience gets time to absorb your message. Everyone wins. What should the viewer do today? Practice inserting a 1-second pause before answering questions. It feels uncomfortable at first, but it instantly improves clarity and confidence. Lesson 4. Think in ideas, not sentences. Most people try to construct perfect sentences in real time. That's exhausting. Great communicators focus on ideas first, words second. Before speaking, ask yourself, what is the one thing I want this person to understand? Now build around that idea. This prevents rambling, it prevents confusion, and it makes your message far more memorable. The most persuasive communicators aren't the ones who say the most, they're the ones who make their point clear. What should the viewer do today? Before your next important conversation, write down the single idea you want the other person to remember. Then focus on communicating that idea. Nothing else. Lesson 5. Confidence comes from evidence. This is perhaps the most important lesson in the entire video. People often wait to feel confident before they speak, but confidence rarely comes first. Confidence comes from evidence. Evidence created through action. Every conversation you avoid teaches your brain that speaking is dangerous. Every conversation you engage in teaches your brain that you're capable. The more evidence you collect, the more confident you become. This is why great speakers aren't born. They're built. One conversation at a time, one presentation at a time, one uncomfortable moment at a time. And here's the truth most people need to hear. You don't become confident and then take action. You take action and become confident. What should the viewer do today? Start one conversation you've been avoiding. Ask one question. Share one opinion. Speak up once more than you normally would. Small acts build powerful evidence. Lesson 6. The hidden power of listening. Most people think communication is about talking. It's not. It's about connection. And connection starts with listening. The best communicators aren't constantly thinking about what they'll say next. They're paying attention. When people feel heard, they become more engaged, more open, more receptive. Ironically, becoming a better listener often makes you a better speaker, because now you're responding instead of performing, and that's where authentic confidence comes from. Conclusion. The reason you struggle to speak confidently may have nothing to do with intelligence. It may have everything to do with fear. Fear of judgment, fear of mistakes, fear of not being good enough. But confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to communicate despite it. Speak more simply. Slow down. Use pauses. Focus on ideas. Collect evidence through action. And remember, the goal isn't to sound perfect. The goal is to be understood. Because your ideas can change your life, but only if people can hear them. If you enjoy learning how the mind works and want practical ideas that can genuinely change your life, I'll subscribe to Rewire Your Brain. New videos every week. Until next time, keep rewiring your brain. Key takeaways. 1. Most communication problems come from self-consciousness, not lack of intelligence. 2. Clear communication is more powerful than complicated language. 3. Slowing down instantly increases perceived confidence. 4. Confidence is built through evidence and repetition. 5. Great communicators focus on connection, not performance.